My homegirl Arteice posted a tweet that I cannot find for the love of me right now. Don't worry, we'll explain it a little bit further into the video. So I just dragged her in so we can just talk and yap about Hazbin, the season 2 trailer, and just approaching this from two very different angles. As y'all know, I am very pro Hazbin and Arteice is very critical of it. The art you see on screen is from the lovely Lucky Clow. And I just hope you enjoy the video of just two gals just yapping, just chatting. So grab a drink, grab a snack, get comfortable, and enjoy. Introductions.
I fear most people do know me as that one bitch tiger that hates the owl. So hi.
Well, to be
Bitch has a name,
fair,
it's Arteice TV.
to be fair, this video is a has-been video, and you aren't as venomous towards has-been as you are with Hell of a Boss.
That is true. I'm like a strong neutral.
And that's the reason why I decided to drag you over to this side of the internet, because I saw a little opinion you had on the bird site. We're not gonna call it whatever the fuck it's called now, to forever be the Bluebird site, where you said you are tentatively excited for Hazbin season 2. You like what you see in the trailer, but the one thing that you don't like is how the story is kind of going in reverse. You would have preferred for Vox and the V's, how they approach them as the main villains. It should have been flipped, where it should have been like the angels, like they built up the fight to heaven instead of them already fighting heaven and now they're fighting the V's. And I was like, ooh, I want to pick your brain on that a little bit more.
Yeah, def. So, okay, where I stand on this, I just feel like if they're I feel like something is building, and it's definitely something with heaven and something of a giant more war. I know we had the battle last season, but it feels, what's the point if we battle with heaven already and the V is meddling, then we're going to do it again, the V is throwing a wrench in the plan. It feels kind of backwards. It feels like if Charlie wants to redeem sinners and go on this journey on trying to redeem sinners, and Angel Dust is her first clientele, then Valentino has like a horse in that race to stop something like that, or just like be more overbearing to self-insert himself in the hotel's business. And so does Vox, because Alistair's also there. And I don't know, give what was the Velvet? Yeah, damn, give Velvet something to do or whatever.
It seems like
because
it's gonna have a
feels
lot
like
to
there's
do
far
this
more,
season.
yeah, which is great, but like it could have had like all that more personal, grounded season 1 shtick we should have had when it came to the basic of the world building and keeping it concise to Pentagram City in that corner of hell, instead of just bouncing all over the place and going into heaven and everything. I felt like that should have been more so later down the line. And I know people are going to say that, well, they didn't know they were gonna get another season.
I don't think that's the reason.
No, they were greenlit for a season 2 before even season 1 was finished. So I don't want to hear that shit.
No, I agree with you. Even if they only gave Viv 1 season, I do believe she's ambitious enough to already go into it thinking, I'm definitely going to get a second season. But my interpretation of, sorry to the audience if we're just jumping straight into the meat and potatoes of the discussion. We don't need the whole padding out, explaining what Hazbin is to make the video like 45 minutes long. But I saw the whole trailer for season 2 and you pointing out how everything was done in reverse. It kind of clicked for me of why I even liked everything to begin with. Because yeah, if they had them fighting the V's and them fighting heaven was such a more normie progression, and no matter what you can say about Viv, what her haters say or what people who are critical to her say, because I do feel there's a distinction between like you, who is very critical of Viv's work, and people who just despise this woman on a personal level. Like they always make it personal and not about her critique. But you can never accuse Viv of being predictable. Like she's able to cater to her audience and she caters to it so well, and she's able to create these hype moments for the fandom that they just eat up. She's able to create works for all these Tumblr fanfic girls and all that stuff. So her deciding that, Angel should be the first fight, then the V's, is a subversion of what a traditional writer would have taken that story. And I feel like that's what sets Hazbin apart so much, where it's willing to do the things that people might not like, but its audience will love.
That is definitely. I'm like looking over my first Has Been season 1 review, and definitely a compliment I can give to the season 1 that it was not boring. Those stuff felt like it was out of order. I can definitely say, like, unlike that Homestuck pilot, the worst thing to be in media is something boring. I'd rather
Yeah.
hate something than it be boring. I can't talk about something that's
The
boring.
worst thing you can do is just not entertain, because that's your whole job. Because because
Yes.
even being hateful is an emotion. Being bored and
Mm.
apathetic is just nothing. So Viv is able to create emotions, whether that's good or bad. Like, even though this is not a has-been video, I don't think anybody on planet Earth could have predicted what would happen to Stolas if they started watching season 1 of Hazbin. Everybody and their grandmother thought the story was going in a completely different direction when that pilot dropped. That where we are in season 2, people just don't know what to do with themselves. And I feel like a similar thing is gonna happen with Hazbin, because nobody even thought redemption was possible. And then that finale where like Pensius was just manifested in heaven. Like, I showed this show to a lot of my peers, my friends and family. Everybody popped off at Pensius just appearing in heaven. And these are normies. These are people who are not used to animation. So she's able to just, like you said, entertain. It's not boring.
Right. Though I will say, I say tentatively excited for season 2. And again, I feel bad for Hazbin Hotel fans at times because you really can't even be like happy about the series without someone sticking their 2 cents in and being all, well, it's probably gonna suck anyway. Well, yeah, who cares? And yeah, blah, 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 blah. It's like, damn, y'all, I'm trying to be a little optimistic. What the?
It's cool to hate that it's actually a meme right now. I think a fan or somebody told me that they know this person, was it on school or on social media or TikTok or somewhere, I don't fucking care, but apparently she hates Hazbin, she despises the show, she hates Viv, everything, but she cannot wait for Hazbin Hotel season 2. Like, she's vibrating, and the person is like, are you sure you hate the show? No, I totally despise it, I hate the writing, I hate the characters. But you're excited. You can't stop talking about the show. You can't wait for it to air. So I'm like, I think you're just a fan, but you don't want to admit it.
It's like, are they like they like to hate it type of person? Because it's like, I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of fun to talk shit about just Hazbin itself. I don't placate in the whole shit talking of Viv when it's not warranted.
I can't be a
funny
hypocrite.
to shit talk about Hazbin.
I can't be a hypocrite because I can't say, no, you're not allowed to hate it. And then I look at Miraculous and I'm like, you fucking bitch. Sometimes it is good to just say shit about something and get it off your chest. That's why I've never held people who criticize the show to such a high, because there are, again, valid critiques, but I am able to turn my brain off at certain things. But there are some people that have made it such a career to hate the show that you can see they are nitpicking. Like, you hate Stolas more than anybody I have ever known, but even you don't make like 10 videos about the bastard back to back. But I've seen some channels that made it their personality to shit on Stolas any chance they get. And now that Hazbin is coming back, they're trying to ramp up making, oh, here's why Hazbin was so terrible actually. And I'm like, bestie, now's not the time to be making hate videos about Hazbin. That was during the hiatus. Right now, people are searching for the show are the people who like the show. And when they see your video, they're gonna ratio your ass. So now is not the time to be a hater for the sake of your channel.
Yeah, because at this point, I want to see what happens from here. I do want to push forward. No idea how however season 2 will end, what it will carry on to, because presumably they got a season 3 and 4, and I heard it's hard to say if it was confirmed or not, but I heard that the episode time length is a bit longer.
I don't remember. I know season 2 they still got the same, I think 8 episodes, but we don't know the length. So I'm hoping it's more invincible. But even if it's not, because now they know they have a season 3 and 4, fingers crossed they will be able to pace the story better, because season 1 they only had season 1, and you can tell in the writing that they want to get a season 2, but they're still gonna cram as much story in case they don't. So I was never against the pacing of Hazbin. I like how indie shows now are at breakneck speed because of my attention span is ruined. So I'm happy
uh,
with that. But one thing I like about the show, because it's also kind of genius, where has been, you always have somebody to root for. Because even if you hate like Viv and the main crew, like you don't like Charlie, you don't like Angel for whatever reason, you don't like, because there's some people who don't like Alistair, you can root for the bad guys because she made her
hi.
bad guys very fun. You can, because there's people who are on Lute's side of the equation. Again, I don't know how. There are people who are severely Team Vox or Team Velvet. So even if you hate the show, there are people within the show that you can latch onto because maybe you're opposed to the main cast. And if you're on the main cast side, so even in her own show, she's created divisions for whether you're a lover or a hater of the show. And I just think that's brilliant.
That I will give credit to where credit is given. I am not a hater, but I will say, as someone who watched through season 1 and I just thought it was okay. And there are definitely some moments that I do give its flowers. Like some of the songs are really good. The animation is really good too, but I don't like Alistair, and me not liking Alistair made me like Vox even more because I like rooting for the underdog.
That's valid because
That's
with
why.
Hell of a Boss, you don't really have people you can root for because why would you want to root for Crimson or Striker, even though there's people like that? But with Hazbin, you're like, I can kind of see Vox's angle because, yeah, Heaven have been killing us. Now we know we can kill them. Why are they suddenly asking for peace? And we are sinners at the end of the day. Nobody has morals in this realm. So, yeah, why shouldn't we go after Heaven, you know?
Yeah, I feel like Vox is the only one who ever like considered this as an option of like, yeah, why not confirm their fears of hell overtaking heaven?
Vox
Let's make
stays
it a
on
reality.
business.
Yes.
And it's gonna be
That's why
hard.
I'm
No, continue.
sorry. I was gonna say that's why I'm excited, kind of excited for like season 2 because it's Vox and it the bees whatever, but like Vox, dude, I'm so ready for him to like beat up Alistair.
He's actually a show stealer. I love Vox as well. That's why I was like, going into season 2, Viv has to convince me to be on Charlie's side because Charlie is not really my favorite character. She's in the top 5 or 10. I don't remember. I made a short about it, but Vox and Alistair and Lucifer are top 3, and they are the reason why I watched this show. And Adam now being gone, he was also a show stealer in season 1. Like, Viv is good at writing villains, so much so that her audience genuinely roots for the villains more. Like, Stella fans confuse me to this day, but I can get it if I squint. But with Hazbin, it's like, no, yeah, I understand. The villains are just fun, which again, it's just entertaining. Just make something not boring.
Right. And I don't know. As far as like the V's, I'm excited to see where Vox is taking all this rebellion stuff and how Velvet can play a role. Valentino, I kind of don't care because it's like he's either gonna keep doing some silly stuff to make him seem enduring, or threatening to sexually assault everyone.
Like he's the himbo of their group, but you can still tell, like, even though he's an idiot, he's an evil, menacing idiot. And this is just, again, this is probably like the season 2 bosses. We still have season 3 and 4, so we know Lilith is gonna be a huge antagonist to Charlie probably. And I think I'm even looking forward to, okay, what is Lilith gonna do? What is the drama? Because I think in an interview Viv said that the whole story of Hazbin is just one giant clusterfuck of family drama between like Charlie, Lucifer, Lilith, I think Cain and Abel, Eve, all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
I just very rarely track of the premise that got most people interested. Like, I want to see how Charlie gonna redeem people. Is her little silly games going to actually help people, or trying to open up to reality that some of the people in hell are not as forgivable, and to try to work towards that, or maybe improve hell as a place altogether? Because I did see some people worry that, oh, Sir Pentius is in heaven, but he looks so sad, and he looks like he misses his friends, and he wants to go back to hell. And it's like, you don't need to self-improve. You just gotta be with your friends in the crappy place you were once before.
Well, to be fair, another criticism is that Viv doesn't really stick to the main premises of her show. Like with Hell of a Boss, it was
No, she does
assassins
not.
doing whatever, but with Hazbin, is about redemption. But again, the redemption was the core theme. By the end of the season, we see her concept of redemption was shown, and I think the show is trying to paint the picture of who gets to decide who deserves redemption, because nobody thought Pensius was gonna get in. Angel was the one trying to get in, but then it just, oop, not you. So at least Hazbin is able to follow his plot a little bit better, but how they define redemption is something that the fandom is gonna have to, agree or disagree with. I'm just here for the pretty colors and the horny demons.
That's fair. I'm just here to see how does this all end.
Yeah. Well, that's mostly what I wanted to pick your brain about. Like, I just saw the tweet and I said, oh, I need to dig deeper into this. So thank you for giving me, 15 minutes of your time.
Has been we'll be talking about for the next few weeks.
Oh my god, my internet just cut out. But I think I'm gonna guess you said you're looking forward to the show and you love Viv and everything she does. But again, thank you for joining me.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank y'all.